Gate 14 podcast, and saying the Jays got skull fucked would be an understatement of what just happened this week. But that's all right. We are joined with a very, very special guest, a legend in the game. It is Kevin GohD. What's up, big dog? How we doing?
What's going on, guys? I'm a little disappointed by what I just witnessed on my television for the last 2 hours. That was depressing. It was sad. And to be honest with you, I wish I didn't sit there for the last 2 hours and waste my life watching it.
There
But
it
that's
is. And if
that's
you're
it though.
Yeah, it's nightmare fuel. And if you're looking at the screen, you can also see we got a producer for this episode because Avery and JR are in Mexico living it up, wheeling moms, doing what they're doing down there. So we are joined by producer Chris. Chris, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Outside of Toronto sports, I'm doing good. Um, yeah, no, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no, it's so let's go into it, Kevin. Before we go into what we got to witness on our TV screens, you so I'll give the people a backstory on how we connected. So you followed us, humble brag for the Gate 14 boys. You love to see it.
Yep.
And you saw us on, like, how did you come across the Gate 14 podcast? And what was your first impression of the Gate 14 podcast?
Well, I watch a lot of Blue Jays shit on YouTube, so I get recommended a lot of Blue Jays shit just in my recommended and stuff. And I remember seeing, because I watch other Blue Jays podcasts too. So I remember seeing one of your guys's. I think it was the one you guys were talking about, Kevin GohD. It was in the title or something. So I watched that one. I like it, man. I like the energy. I like that it's like you guys don't give a shit, right? Like it's just like that's what I like. Like, I don't like this is just my opinion. Like if you like the podcasts that are just like, by the book, everyone's in a suit and tie and talking professional, and like you guys are just hanging out, having fun. I was just like, damn, these guys are cool. So I was just like, followed you guys on Twitter, and then this guy's crazy, man. Johnny's crazy. I don't give a shit what he says. If he tries to say to anybody, he's this guy's crazy. This guy on Twitter, this guy's hilarious. He's one of the best. If you're a Jays fan, you need to follow this guy. This guy's out of his mind. All right, you need to follow him. He's one of the best. He might be the best Jays follow on Twitter. 100%.
That's high praise, Kevin. And listen, a lot of people will say to me, I appreciate that. A lot of people will say to me, all like, or the comments will be like, this guy's insane, this is the stick. No, this is genuinely how I like. You could ask my friends when I'm watching Jays games. I live or die by this shit. And obviously, right now, I am miserable with what just transpired in front of my TV screen. But let's go into you for a second. So obviously, you kind of came up in the game and you're just been running it. When we told our followers and our listeners, you've been calling the podcast, I've been getting like 100 DMs. Just when's Kevin coming on? When's Kevin coming on? I was telling him, pump the brakes. He's coming on Thursday. When did you kind of have that arc for you where it's like, holy shit, I can do this full time now, and this could be like my gig? I could just I can like quit my normal job. Like, just give the people a little background on that, when that happened for you.
Oh shit. Damn. This is like, well, I remember I started YouTube in 2020. It was actually 2015. I made my channel, and then 2016 is when I started making. I was working full time. I was working installing laminate flooring. That's what I did. And it was probably one of the worst things in my life. But then I finally quit that because I was like, you know what? I don't want to be miserable the rest of my life. I kind of want to do something that's like kind of fun. So then I quit that. And then I remember I maxed out my credit cards buying equipment, which was that's not good advice, and you should never do that. But that's what I did. And I remember I started making videos in 2016. And I think around August of 2016 is when I started to be able to make some income from it. I think I remember it's probably the happiest day of my life. I made $117 in August of 2016. And I remember just being the happiest I've ever been in my life, because it was the first time I've ever made money doing something that wasn't miserable. So, well, I mean, at that time I was still living with my my mom at the time, so I was able to actually, she was actually cool as fuck, and just, let me kind of do whatever I could to try to do something not being miserable. So if she was trying to make me pay rent or something, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But shout out mom. She was really cool about all that shit. And then Yeah, once 2018 was when I kind of started to make, or 2017 actually. 2017 around like the summer is when I started. That's when I moved into my first apartment early 2017. I made kind of enough to pay for rent and shit. It wasn't like it was just kind of a dump of an apartment. Neighbors hated my fucking guts because I was always yelling and shit. Fucking the 80, she may have been 150. She was just some old lady. Every time she saw me, I had to go and take the garbage out every night. And she was always in the lobby. And I always had to walk by her. And she was just like, you got to keep it down. Neighbors are going to fucking kill you. Or I'm going to like, kick you out pretty much. But then, yeah, 2017 is probably like the first year that I was able to, probably say that I can do this full time, luckily. Somehow, I don't know. I have no idea. Somehow people like watching what I do. I have no idea why. But it's kind of crazy to think about that people actually enjoy anything that I do on the internet, to be honest.
I think it's the factor like that make you, and I'm not going to put myself in your class, obviously, but like, it's just the relatable factor. Like no one wants to watch some dude break down MLB the Show or watch some dude break down the Toronto Blue Jays. You want to have like a person that you can kind of relate to with that, and you could like go through the ups and downs of certain shit with that. But I got a question for MLB the Show here, and this is I'm not a big MLB the Show guy. Our co-host Avery is, but
yeah,
this is a short question.
Okay,
What makes MLB the Show different each year? Because I could play 2019, 2020, 2021, and it'll all look the same to me. So what makes MLB the Show different year by year? Because in my dumb brain, I'm like, what the fuck are we paying $90 for? What this is the exact same thing as the year before.
Dude, that's a valid question, to be honest with you. And really what it comes down to, okay? The graphics will always look the same. It's just we're kind of at the point where graphics just can't get any better. If they did, it'd be scary. It'd be like some real life type shit if they were any better. So what it kind of comes down to, the mode I play is called Diamond Dynasty. And what it is you get like virtual baseball cards and you kind of like collect cards and play with all of them like against other people online. So what the developers need to do to make it seem different is they need to get new people in the game, like new legends. This year, they were able to get Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire in the game, so that's big. And then other things, just try to make it so the content is fresh. Try to do different things so like the online mode's different. You don't want to be playing the same thing like you're saying. It's just sometimes I agree. That's where I feel like Madden's at. It's just the same damn thing every damn year, and it's like, why the fuck am I getting this? But MLB The Show, I feel like they do a good job with making like the online content different in a way, especially this year. It's completely different than it was in years past, like the way you can earn players and shit like that. It's just kind of the way that they have to make it so the online shit is new and refreshing, making it different every year, the way you can unlock people and just earn rewards and shit like that. Just make it so it's fresh and people don't want to come on the same damn game every year. I don't know if that made any damn sense, but you just got to try to make the online modes by earning rewards and collecting cards and putting new legends and just new people in the game that people are excited about. That's what it comes down to.
So who is like, who's like a legend in the game or just like a player on the Jays that you've kind of stuck to who'll always be on your Diamond Dynasty team, a guy that just absolutely rakes, but I don't know if he should be raking or just a guy that you just can't let go of that plays for the Blue Jays that's on your Diamond Dynasty? Is it Trevor Richards, maybe? Who is it?
Jesus. At this point, they had a 99 Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2 years ago, and I swear to Christ, that was like the happiest day of my life, which is kind of pathetic to say, but it was. And every year they have different players. This year they have like a high tiered Bo Bichette. So that's kind of the card I like using, even though I'm not really using them at the moment because of what I'm like specifically doing. But Bo Bichette, George Springer has a high tier card right now. Last year it was Carlos Delgado. But there was a 99 Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that was in the game 2 years ago, and that was like my favorite thing that I've ever seen. But this year they haven't really released two insane Blue Jays cards. I'm assuming at some point they might release they don't have a high tier Vlad yet, so they're probably gonna hopefully release a high tier Vlad at some point. But if they release him, then that would be someone that never leaves my lineup. And I'm amazing with him. I can honestly say that.
They need a Matty Chapsticks. Let's be real here. They need Matt Chapman to go after that.
he might get he won player of the month for April. So what they base that, I think, off of kind of like real life shit. So he might get like a high tier diamond. Like I think they're actually the updates tomorrow, so we'll find out if he gets one. But I think that might actually happen.
You love to see it. So let's go into the series. So obviously, for the listeners who got to listen to last episode, I think I quote unquote said, I don't know when this Toronto Blue Jays team is gonna lose looking at the pitcher matchups. So I'll take accountability, hand up. I fucked up. You hate to see it, but let's just where was your level of confidence after that Seattle Mariners blow up? Did you think that it would just be like a snowball, like a torpedo of just continuous meltdowns? Or what did you think after that? Because I genuinely thought they'd win this series with ease. I don't think the Red Sox are that good. I'm not going to give them their flowers, but I just genuinely thought this team was better than this. Just could bounce back better. I'm not going to overreact with it. Obviously, it's only 5 games, but this was cat shit. This was terrible.
Man, I don't know. I'm just kind of at the point where it's like I watch the Jays, and it's almost you can't even get too excited with what you're watching. I feel they'll be like the best team you've ever seen. The pitching, not everyone, but most of the guys on the team are doing amazing. And then this happens where they stink. And then it's just like, what the fuck's happening? So I don't know if I can even really have confidence that this team can play consistently until they do it for a while, because they will, they'll go on a winning streak. They'll win a bunch of games and then they'll just look like shit against the Red Sox, who might actually be better than what people think. What the hell was I watching?
I don't know, man. This
Yoshida
guy, I don't know if it's just this series. He might be the best left-handed hitter I've ever seen. I mean, he was hitting balls like 110, like it was nothing. I have no idea.
What, like every boom hit, boom hit, boom hit. Everything was coming up and just you couldn't get them out at one point. It's just, and some of them were weird, like they were reaching on errors and shit. But man, I don't know what the fuck the AL East even is anymore, to be honest. What the hell's going to be the AL East in 3 months from now?
And you made a good point there with like this team not being consistent. I feel like it's always been like that, like the last 4 or 5 years. It's never consistently like, let's just say a 600 winning percentage where they're just, they take, I'm not good on math. We'll say 15 out of 10. Like they'll go 15 and 10 in like a 25 game stretch and continue to do that and just play decent baseball. It's like, especially last year too, because you got to think at the All-Star break last year, they were 2 games above 500, or they were 500 actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or 2 games above 500. It's never a consistency with this team. Like, all right, they lost this game. They bounce back next game. It's just, they'll either go on a 6-game win streak or they'll just absolutely every facet of the game. You got Espinal making errors. Gossman's giving up runs. It's never consistent baseball with this team. It's always the higher up or the lower up. It's never in the middle. It's the most frustrating thing as a Toronto Blue Jays fan. That's what we all have to realize. We'll never have a consistent team. We'll always have the highs and the lows. That's it. Nothing in between.
No, I think you're right, man. It's kind of, I just accepted that at this point when they play amazing. And then if they play like shit, I'm just like, well, what do you do? Because it seems like that's just a given at this point. You watching the Leafs game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on up there too. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Just, they might be in trouble.
It's over.
Shortly, I don't know. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, listen, man, and going back to that, it's like we'll talk about game one. Game one was a disaster class, a disaster class of a baseball game. Jose Barrios, you think it's like the Godfather. Just when you are out, he brings you back in because there is going to be a start within the next week or 2 weeks. He's going to go 8 scoreless with 15 punch outs, and you're going to think he's the next coming of Cy Young. Yeah. That game was a disaster class because they should have won that game. Let's be as clear as possible here. I mean, I don't know what happened there. Just like they had a 3-2 lead and they give up the 3 spot. Where are you at with Jose Barrios, Kevin? What do you think about him? Because he was decent majority of the year. It's just that was a really bad start. Where are you at with him?
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same point with him as I might be with the whole damn team. It's just Barrios, it's just he goes up there and he will go 8 innings, scoreless, look amazing. And then the next game, he'll give up 5 in the first inning. And who on the Jays rotation right now? Besides, I don't know.
Gausman. Gausman. You could say Gausman.
Yeah, Gausman, I guess. But besides Gausman, who on the Jays rotation is really giving you confidence that you will leave watching that shit happy? I don't know. Like, I mean, Manoah is, he kind of had rough starts, but I still believe in him. I still believe in, like, some people I've seen, people on Twitter are insane, dude. People on Twitter are like, fuck Manoah. Like, what? Yeah, he was amazing for like 2 years, and then he has a rough start, and everyone's like, get this guy out of here. No, I think that's fine. I think Manoah will be good. But Gausman, Kikuchi's looked good. I mean, he had, it's just, I'm on the Kikuchi train. I agree. But just, I don't know. It's consistency, man. It's just like, what's happening? Right? Like,
I think, is it crazy to say Chris Bassett is like, just this year, not based off past performances with Manoah and stuff like that, Chris Bassett is like the number 2 guy that I can genuinely trust when he's on the mound. Because that Mariners one, he kind of got shafted with the no strike call on the paint and all that type of stuff. And then he went scoreless the rest of the game. I think Chris Bassett, in my opinion, is like the clear, as of right now, the number 2 guy that I can genuinely trust coming out of the bullpen and be like, or start a game, be like, all right, the Jays have a really good chance of winning this game. My problem with Manoah is too fucking wild. I mean, the guy hits everyone. He walks the house. That's just this year. Barrios just throws cockshot four-seamers that get sent to the moon. And Kikuchi is like, you never know with this guy. I mean, he was good, obviously. we did the Kikuchi corner thing. We're massive Kikuchi guys. We made shirts. But it's like, you never know. He's a question mark, too, because when he doesn't throw strikes, or he'll just throw cockshots like Barrios. This rotation is just such a question mark all across it, besides Gausman maybe and Bassett. Like, that Barrios start was terrible on Monday. He's just, when he's bad, it is hell to watch.
It's not even bad. It's like catastrophically horrific. It's so bad. I don't even know if I could say what I would rather watch than watch a Jose Barrios bad start. It's just so sickening. You might as well just turn off the game. There's no point. It's just you can see it coming too. Boom, base hit, boom, home run. It's like, fuck this. I'm going to fuck off. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be honest, what you were saying, I kind of forgot about Bassett, to be honest. It just Bassett actually has looked good the last couple of starts. I think Bassett might be, he kind of got unlucky in one of those ones you were mentioning too. But yeah, Bassett and Gausman might be the only guys right now. I still believe in Manoah, but to be honest, when he takes the mound, I'm just kind of like, oh,
it's just, you never know, man. You never know
if he's just going to be amazing.
For me, and let's go into Barrios' stat line here on that Monday game. He went 5 1/3, 11 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 home runs. That is not going to win you baseball games, dude.
No,
that's just when you get that, and I know we have people in our people tweeting at us, DMing us, comments on TikToks, the bullpen. I don't give a shit who's in the bullpen. You could have Nolan Ryan at the back end of the bullpen, fucking Trevor Hoffman. If your starting pitcher is giving up 5 runs in 5 innings, you have no chance in that baseball game, period. It was terrible. And the bright spot about that game was the Jays clawed back. Obviously, the Red Sox made errors, and fucking Bo goes 5 for 5 and you lose a baseball
I know.
game.
What the fuck is that, dude? I know. That's what it's like. Man, like, even today, Vlad hits another moonshot. Looks good. Hit a double. And then, it's just, I don't know. I feel like at this point in time, I'm just, whenever it's, people turn the game off and shit if they play, but I'm just watching Vlad and Bo at that point. I'm just kind of, because, Bo goes 5 for 5. They lose. And then Vlad is out here hitting 500-foot home runs almost, and they're still not winning. So it's just like, I just want to watch Vlad hit home runs at this point, right? Because you can't trust barely anyone in the rotation right now, except for Gausman's had rough starts too. So he's not.
It's a cluster.
It's just weird. It's just weird, man. If Gausman has bad starts, it just seems fucking weird.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right seeing that.
It is weird.
But shout out to our guy Griff, because he pulled up this stat here for me. So the rotation in this series gave up 20 earned runs in 18 innings. That includes 3 unearned. And the bullpen gave up 8 earned runs in 13 innings with 1 unearned. those numbers are fucking absurd. And when it all comes together, the offense did what they should have done to win a lot of these baseball games, right? I mean, you're scoring 5 runs on Monday. On Tuesday, you score 6 and you lose both those baseball games. If I'm the offense, I'm just saying, like, what more do we got to do, man? Can you just not put up a 7? Can you not give up a 7 spot so we can maybe win a baseball game? I don't know, but
I don't know.
And with the Romano thing, I want to talk about, where are you at with Joe Romano?
All right, let's do it. Let's get into this. I actually was thinking about that when you told me the Leafs just fucking lost. They stink. What the fuck's happening?
Yeah,
they're not winning. What is this shit?
Nightmare fuel, bro.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Is this? I don't know. Is this a hot take? But it might be a hot take. Nate Pearson for the closer. Is that a hot take?
I don't know. The thing is, you got to kind of ease him into the high leverage
you can't
stuff.
Don't throw him in there right away, right? Like, kind of build him up, let him pitch a little bit more. But if Romano still goes in there and throws these fucking fastballs down the middle, giving up home runs and shit to blow saves, get him out of there. Put Nate in there and see what he can do. And then, I get it. Romano is a nice guy, right? I feel like that's a thing where if the player is just a really nice guy, nobody, like Kevin Biggio, people still believe in him.
Which is wild to me,
People still believe in Biggio just because he's a nice guy, right? He's a nice guy. He's nice and he's cool and he looks funny and he's just a nice guy. They want to get rid of him. If Romano shits the bed, get rid of him. He could be the nicest guy ever. I want to see Nate Pearson come in here and
there's so many options though.
Or gas. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you could go Swanson, you can go Nate Pearson. The thing is with Romano is, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago, it's like, does Romano, this is my dumb brain, does Romano still get that cool entrance if he's coming in the 7th?
That's what I'm saying. People, they want to see the entrance, right? They want to see the cool lights come on. They want to see him strut out to the mound. They want to see the umpire cut him off in the middle of it to check his hand. They want to see all that crazy shit. They can't give him the entrance if he comes out in like the 7th. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you give up on that? You've already given him his own custom walkout song. How do you give up on that? He's going to have to be catastrophically bad probably for them to give up on him. But I don't know, man. I'm all in on Nate Pearson, and I have been ever since.
That's our guy. That's my guy.
I love Nate Pearson.
Front of the show. I
love Nate Pearson.
This is my thing. Is like that ball that Romano hit, like that nuke he gave up to Verdugo. Couldn't have been more middle. That was the worst location.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like when Nate Pearson, he might come in and, throw ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, and then he'll get, strike 1, strike 2, and then get, 6 pitch, 7 pitch at bats. But I feel like even when he misses, it's okay. Like he might, like the other day, he tried, I think Jansen was trying to go up, and he missed by, I think it was the Devers. He missed way inside by like feet. Still got him out. I feel like when Romano misses, it's right down the middle, and they're crushing it every single time.
It's a good point. I mean, Nate has a 0 ERA right now so far. I mean, it's 3 appearances, obviously, but I mean,
it's not that much.
Yeah, he doesn't look bad. That definitely. I mean, obviously throwing him in, it's not a bad problem to have, especially with the high leverage. And I don't know. It just, they wasted a Bichette game on Monday. 5 for 5 and you lose a baseball game. It's like in the hockey when Pavelski scores 4 goals and the Stars lose. It's just a tough thing, tough taste to leave in your mouth. So
let's go one more thing on Nate, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, does he not look different this year?
He does,
I swear to Christ. I remember watching some games like in his first year or two. He looked scared shitless on the mound. He looked scared. And now he's coming in, he's got the beard, he's got the longer hair. He just looks like he doesn't give a shit, right? Like he looks like he's just out there and he's just he's pissed off. He's just trying to strike guys out. Like that outing, his slider wasn't working. His curveball wasn't working. He was just throwing fastballs and he was still getting outs. Like imagine if his fastball's working and his curveball and slider.
And it just looks cool because he throws it at full. Every part of his body is going towards home plate. He doesn't hold anything back no matter what, and it looks cool. It looks cool having a reliever that's like that. Or
changeup, I meant. I didn't mean slider. I meant changeup.
Changeup. Yeah, and Romano, he kind of looks like he's not holding it back, but he's just it's just whippy with his arm. Nate is like the whole body because Nate, he studies that science stuff in the offseason. He does has all those wires around him, so he knows how to maximize his potential with the way he throws baseball. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a good question to be brought up, and just keep throwing Nate in these high leverage situations, especially with Zach Pop now, who's injured. I don't know if you saw it tonight, but
yeah, what even happened?
I honestly don't even know. That's the most Toronto Blue Jays shit I've ever fucking seen.
It's just how they're out there getting their asses kicked, and then next time you look at the TV, someone's getting like carted off the field or some shit. That's like legitimately what Toronto Blue Jays fandom is at this point. It's unbelievable, dude. It's insane.
It is insane. So let's go into the Tuesday game, obviously. So Kikuchi was just terrible. I mean, he was missing, and when he was missing, it was bad missing. That was 2022 Kikuchi. 5 earned runs in 4 innings, 9 hits, 2 nukes, no walks, obviously, which is very weird for a bad Kikuchi start. But that was a different Kikuchi start, like a bad Kikuchi start, because he was just giving up a shit ton of hard contact, and he wasn't walking guys. You could tell he was like, I just want to stay in the zone. I don't have my stuff today. Little did he know his shit got absolutely sent to Mars. It was terrible. Man. That was bad. That was a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a person on the Jays right now I want to do better than Kikuchi.
We've said that since day one.
I feel sad. Like my day's ruined when Kikuchi has a bad start. It's just sickening. I mean, anyone else on the team could have a bad day. Vlad could go 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. I still wouldn't feel as bad. Is it because Kikuchi? You could see it. You could see when he has a bad start. He just looks so sad.
You say cares. We started that hashtag. We made sure.
He legitimately looks like he's about to cry sometimes when he has a bad outing. So I don't know. I pray to Christ he does good every single time, but it's obviously not going to happen.
I will say this. This was the most frustrating game of the series. We can make that very clear. The Jays were down 3-0, put up a 6 spot. In the top of the 5th.
Fuck's sake.
And then give up 5 unanswered. Or 4 unanswered to lose the game.
Yeah, that was
the most frustrating game. I'm fine with losing the rest. The rest of the games, you could argue it's just baseball things. The Monday game, whatever. The Wednesday, the Thursday game, all like today's game, all baseball shit. Just you lose, you got beat. That game, the Jays should have won that game. And one thing that really aggravated me about that game is we talked a ton about this. John Schneider has honestly underperformed as a manager. First of all, Yusei Kikuchi does not have it at all that day. And you make him go out there and face the lineup for the 3rd straight time, a lineup who doesn't strike out, who doesn't get out easily, and you put him in to face the lineup 3 times. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing, John Schneider, if he's over managing. I mean, tonight he used Swanson in like the 5th inning down 4. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Where are you at with John Schneider? Because I know this team is still good. I'll take that to the grave. I still think this team's really special, but John Schneider has lost them a decent amount of fucking games. That has to be talked about.
The Eric Swanson shit has to be put into some conspiracy at this point. Like, did Eric Swanson sleep with John Schneider's wife? Why does he fucking hate Eric Swanson? It seems like I remember watching, I think it was one of your podcasts. He literally went like a week without pitching Eric Swanson.
1 week.
It was like 6 days, I think, that he didn't use Eric Swanson. This needs to be legitimately, people need to investigate this. I don't know what's happening. John Schneider, listen, they might have to. John Schneider worked under Montoya, so how confident in him can you be? He's probably got a lot of his managerial tactics. And what about Pete? Pete has to be somewhat to blame for this shit, right? Like John Schneider's out there. Do you think Pete's whispering in his ear, telling him who to bring in and shit like that?
That's what Avery said, man.
I think Pete has to be a little bit accountable for some of this shit.
Well, what Avery said on the pod is he said, you could change managers, but there is just one constant over the last 2-3 years, just like terrible bullpen decisions. And it's Pete Walker's been there the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all like,
that's true.
Pete Walker just not getting any scrutiny because obviously John Schneider is the manager. He'll get it. Is kind of crazy to me that like Pete Walker just kind of goes under the radar, even though he's been the only constant with the Montoya bad decisions and the John Schneider bad decisions. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just John Schneider it seems he's like an over manager type shit, because even the game Manoah was pitching, I don't know if it was just me. Did didn't it seem like he was in maybe longer than he should have been in? It just seemed like he.
Well, he got hit. He got hit with a comebacker too, right? So
yeah,
he
he got hit with a
labeling little bit,
comebacker,
yeah.
and then a lot of weird shit was happening in that game, kind of. But still, it just seemed like he was in way longer than he should have been. So I don't know what they could possibly be talking about. He got hit with a comebacker. So what are Pete and John sitting there talking about to each other when that happens? Because he was in and he was kind of, weird things started to happen. So even if he wasn't really getting hit around, getting destroyed, a lot of fucking weird shit was happening. So you kind of, I don't know. I'm not a fucking MLB manager, so I'm not going to sit here and say that I'd be a better manager than John Schneider or some shit. But it just seems like he overthinks the fuck
out of everything, bro.
He does. Every single decision he makes is an overthinking, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just been a weird stretch of games these last these last week and a bit. I don't know. It's just it's tough to watch. But another thing that came up to my mind, especially with that Manoah appearance yesterday, which we will go into, is you realize how lucky you are that we have Matt Chapman at third base, because that error Espinal made yesterday that costed the Jays 3 runs. Matt Chapman makes that in his fucking sleep. He makes that play with his eyes closed, and Espinal just launches the baseball into the fucking dugout. We are so lucky to have Matt Chapman, and damn well his ass isn't coming back here because the Jays aren't going to be able to afford to pay him, and it's going to hit us like a truck when we see that first ground ball to third. We're like, oh shit, a platinum glover's not over there.
Dude, Chapman is 1,000% leaving, probably going to the Yankees, to be honest.
Because they don't have a third baseman. Yeah,
that'd be the most typical fucking shit I've ever seen. Yeah, it's almost kind of sad when you watch what Chapman's doing, because it's not going to be around for long. And then, dude, Whit Merrifield? Why does John Schneider hate him too?
I don't.
What's happening?
Dude,
let the fucking guy play.
I don't know.
We got Kevin Biggio in there who legitimately, I don't know if you rolled the ball to him, just like a fucking bowling ball, just kick it to him. I still think he'd miss it. I don't know what's happening. He can't even get a bunt down.
Oh my god, that bunt that was bad.
Kevin
Biggio is hitting 118 with a 182 on base percentage and a 255. And his main thing, the main thing that the Kevin Biggio truthers out there that try to roast me would say,
I don't know, man,
is he gets on base. The dude's on base percentage right now is below 200.
Yeah,
so what is he doing for this team right now?
I don't know if he's not anything.
And why does John Schneider still continue to say, like, I let Kevin know, like, he's not going anywhere. We trust him. Is that what you're supposed to tell someone that's struggling? That you could just, hey, listen, man, you could struggle for however long you want. Just know I'm never leaving you. That's like telling your husband or wife or whatever, you could treat me as shit as you want, but I promise you I will never leave you. So you just free reign, do whatever the fuck you want. That's what John Schneider said to Kevin Biggio.
I don't know, man. I don't want to, we're sitting here ragging on Biggio and shit, but let's be honest. If Kevin Biggio's last name was not Biggio, is this guy playing for a Major League Baseball team?
I don't.
I mean, not this year. No. Not this year, 100%. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if the whole it's early shit, I don't even know if I buy it anymore, because in 2021 they missed the playoffs by one game.
One fucking game.
One game. So remember when they went on a very bad stretch, I think at the beginning of 2021. That was when they had fucking, what was that, guys? Chatwood. They had
Tyler Chatwood, Rafael Dolis. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's when games, like they're blowing games and shit. Everyone's like, no, man, it's fine. It'll be fine. Like they'll be okay. And then they missed the playoffs by one game. And then what if they missed the playoffs this year by one game or something? I mean, it's just Whit Merrifield needs to play every damn day.
I'm a Whit truther, man.
If, give him a break every now and then, obviously. But what is this fucking play him for a game, then Biggio, then Merrifield, then Espinal, then, it's like, put the fucking guy in. And if I see Brandon Belt's face one more time, I might shatter every fucking electronic in this damn house. Why is he playing?
He has
Why?
He has right now the major league average. The major league average right now is 22% strikeout rate. His is 44%. His strikeout rate is 44%. I do not know how many more chances, and I don't feel bad for him either. You know why I don't feel bad for him? Because this motherfucker
he's been around
missed
forever.
Spring training. He missed 2-3 weeks of spring training. So am I supposed to feel bad for you that this is technically your spring training and you're not getting up? Dude, his at-bats are so unserious. It's unserious.
It's I don't know. Yeah, it's just what's more depressing than watching a Brandon Belt at bat? I don't know if anything is. It's sickening, man. I don't know why I don't know. I have no idea why this guy is even in the lineup anymore.
It's $9 million.
As the DH. Yeah, exactly. It's $9 million. Just fucking get rid of him.
He's
like, you tell me Rogers gives a shit about $9 million. That's like less than a penny to us, probably. It's like, fuck that. Like, just get him out. It's May. It's not the first 2 weeks. It's May at this point.
I know people, and I'll still hold it true that it's still early and stuff like that. It's just, fuck, man. It's like, at some point, we just got to say, we got to start winning baseball games again. I don't know what it feels like to win a baseball. It's been 5 days.
Yeah.
It's the last happiness I had was a Dalton Varsho walk-off when I thought this team was the greatest thing to ever fucking exist because everyone was clicking.
That felt so long ago. How that was not even that long ago. It felt like it may have been last season. It felt last season. Legitimately, it felt like it was last damn season.
And the things that have been pissing me off about this is like, so we waste the Bichette game 5 for 5. We waste the Dalton Varsho 3 for 4 with a home run game where he's looking back as fuck, unbelievable. It's just we're just wasting these games with these hitters that turn into Barry Bonds. I mean, Dalton Varsho's starting to figure it out. I will say that he does look really, really good. So that's like a positive.
Games,
That's a positive you can take from this. There's actually a decent amount of positives you could take from this series. One, the offense looks awesome. I mean, they're scoring runs, they're putting up runs. They're not putting. It's like they're putting up crooked numbers. That's all you can ask for. It's just when this pitching, when it is bad, it's awful. It is awful. Like, you can't even have the best offense ever in there, and you're still losing baseball games, man. It's been bad. But going into that Manoah start, obviously a little bit of bad luck, man. I mean, the Espinal error really fucked him, man. That was catastrophic.
Yeah, that was bad, dude.
Yeah, like you knew that was just about to be a snowball worth of shit. So, like, that game was 8-3. Jays were never really. I mean, they were technically in it when they were up 3-2 in the 5th, and they just gave up a run every single inning after that.
Yeah,
it was just bad. And I've been squatting on a take here. I think Trevor Richards is not a bad reliever. I think he is better than Anthony Bass. I think he is
100%.
I think he's like the 5th reliever. Like, he's a good reliever to have where you don't have to worry about throwing him in high leverage because obviously you don't want him there. But he's a good reliever to 1, eat innings, and 2, he's going to give you a 0 or 1 run through 2 innings or 3 innings when he's doing a little bit of long leverage. So I don't know. Where do you stand with Trevor Richards, man? I don't think he's that bad. I think he gets a shit ton of hate for not really no reason to kinda.
Man, I agree with you. I'm not even just saying that either. I feel like sometimes he comes in, his changeup's unhittable.
Unhittable.
Right? And then I'm sick and tired of Anthony Bass. I am. I don't even give a fuck if he looked like a clown on Twitter or not. The guy just looks like an idiot, and he just sucks this year, right? Like, he has to be, like, for Christ's sakes. They were down today. He was going to come in for like mop up duty just to hold up just to clean up the shit and hopefully not give up any. That's where he's at on this team. He's just kind of like a.
And last year he was a sub-2 ERA guy.
Yeah, he was crazy. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And then
the wild card game broke him, bro. The wild card game broke him.
That might be true. And
really
it's just the fact that everyone hates him because he look. Why that guy? He just looks like an idiot, right? Like, even if he didn't look like a fucking toolbox on Twitter and make his like family look kind of stupid, or not even kind of stupid, just very stupid. He just looks like an idiot, and I'm just sick of seeing him, to be honest. Like, I just hope they get rid of him. And didn't he deactivate his Twitter?
He deactivated it. That's just how you know it's.
How do you fucking do something like that? You start making stupid ass posts. Do it, and then when shit gets tough, you deactivate your Twitter. Like,
bad.
get out of here.
It
Get
was
the fuck
bad.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. It just doesn't. And the thing is, obviously, like Jays fans, we do a lot of scoreboard watching. And when we're going through stretches like this, and you see a team like the Rays just never lose ever again,
That's
it's
so
just
fucking
so
stupid,
fucking frustrating. I mean,
It's
dude,
stupid as
they're
hell.
24-6.
Yeah,
They're
it's stupid.
24-6.
It's
30
annoying as
games
hell.
in, they've only lost 6 games.
Dude, the Rays are the most annoying team maybe of all time. Not even just in baseball, just of all time. They always beat the Jays, which is the most annoying part. And and they always do it with who on the Rays offense would you say is like a top 10 hitter in baseball? Just
Probably
overall.
Wander Franco, maybe.
Okay, besides Wander Franco, who else is
I couldn't give you one, to
like
be honest.
is anyone in the Rays lineup, Aaron Judge, fucking, someone, I don't know who else to name, just someone like that, right? Like someone who comes up to the plate and you're like, holy shit, this is scary. No, they will go out there and they'll be like the best team in the league with just guys you've never even heard of half the time. It's just so weird. And they're pitching too. I can't even tell you how many times I've been watching them play. The Rays will just pull some guy out of nowhere. Who the fuck's this guy? Carves up the Jays. Carves up, and he becomes one of the best relievers in the league or something. Like, I don't know. Their scouting department is elite, especially for pitching. It might be the best ever.
It's
unfair.
They
have the best coaching, scouting, front office. I mean, they can't really sign. I mean, they signed Franco to that deal, which he could probably walk away from. I think he can walk away from that after a certain amount of time or something. Like, people are saying he's not going to actually finish that contract. I think after the 4th or 5th year? I don't know what year it is. I think after that year, it's because the way it's like structured, I think he can kind of walk away from it after a certain point. Like, no one thinks he's actually going to stay there for whatever the hell it was. But I mean, it's just sickening that they do good every single year. I want the Rays to do bad. That's all I want.
We'll never see that, I don't think. I don't think we'll ever see that at this point. I think they have the technology and the guys in the staff department where we'll just never see that. And obviously, speaking about the positive with Dalton Varsho, I mean, this is a guy who looked terrible, but look at him now. I mean, his last 7 games, he's 8 for 27 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, hitting .296 with a .333 on base percentage. I mean, he's really figuring it out. And I know Barker said something about him switching from a toe tap to just going back to his leg kick, which obviously is gonna result in more strikeouts. But he does make more harder contact doing that. So I do love him going back to that leg kick. I think it's going to make drastic changes. It already has made drastic changes. So I am excited to see Dalton Varsho kind of figuring it out, especially with this entire lineup also like raking, man. I mean, they're putting up like the middle of the order, the top of the order is all hitting above 300 pretty much. So yeah, I mean, look at the line. I mean, Bichette 328, Guerrero 317, Chapman 364. Then you got Varsho right after, then Kirk and Merrifield. Those are 4. Like, that's like a pretty massive chunk of the lineup that is competing. And that's not even mentioning George Springer. But where do you stand right now with Georgie boy? Like, do you think George Springer is maybe injured, or like what's going on with this guy, man? He's having unserious at bats, just unserious. He just doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Fuck. I don't know if you can ever really. I mean, I guess now he looks terrible, but I mean, I don't know. When George comes up to the plate, I still believe he can actually do something. I don't know. Hazel interviewed him the other day. He didn't look like he really gave a shit, which I guess is good. You don't want him to be depressed about it or some shit, but yeah, man, just fucking. At some point in time, he's just going to be coming up and hitting clutch ass home runs like, all the time.
Yeah,
and shit again.
for sure.
So
You'll always have that.
Yeah, like there's no way that George is going to struggle like this the whole damn season. If he does, that's the weirdest shit ever. I mean, he has had a lot of injuries the last couple of years too, so I don't know if some of those are still bugging him and shit. It's kind of, I don't know. It's just I think Springer's going to be fine. Springer by like the middle of the summer, Springer's probably going to be fucking just shitting on everything he sees probably again.
This is my thing though. That's kind of sucks with Springer is like. In the last 30 games, like this is a pretty decent sample size you can use now, right? Last 30 games, he's 21 for 118. He's hitting 178 with a 242 on base percentage and a 263 slugging. That's a pretty big sample size to say to John Schneider, let's give Bo more at bats. Why don't we lead off Bo and move Springer down at some point? At some point, he's going to have to do that. I know George Springer is an awesome leadoff hitter, one of the best ever, most leadoff home runs, but he just doesn't have it right now, man. Like, you got to at least move him down in the lineup to where he's seeing a little bit more foul. I don't know what it is, but man, it just you gotta switch shit up with this guy because he's like I said, he's unserious at the plate.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, dude. I don't know. It's hard. I just don't know. I just fucking feel like at any point in time, like the only guy on the off, I mean, Vlad and Bo, I mean, those guys are just fucking unreal. I mean, I just can't believe how good Bo and Vlad are at anything, let alone baseball, for Christ's sakes. Like, Bo might be like the best hitter in the damn world. If you actually think
could
about
make the argument he's the best hitter in the league. I mean, he's led the league in hits 2 years in a row.
Dude, people wanted Bo gone last year. People wanted Bo traded. They wanted to get rid of Bo last year, which was like the most insane shit of all time. Are they gonna fucking sign Vlad and Bo?
That's like $700 million you got to commit to two guys. I don't know if Rogers is gonna do that.
And then you also have to think about like what's going on with Manoah, right? Like what's going on with
Gossman too. I guess you can make
maybe, I don't know. Like, yeah, they got so many people they may have to sign. Like Vlad and Bo, yeah, that's a shitload of money.
What I said, and I think I said this on the pod or something like that. We just got to enjoy the next 3-4 years because you might never have a team that's assembled or as special as this is. I mean, you got Bassett locked up, Gossman locked up for the next couple of years. You got all these guys that are going to be locked up. So this is going to be a team that's going to be special for a pretty decent amount of time. But after that, it's like Bo Bichette might be gone because the team, you know what teams offer, going to offer him 350, 400 million, especially with how contracts are going now with shortstops like Trey Turner. I think Vladdy's going to be a Blue Jay for life, but I think Bo is the only question mark with that. That's where I stand with that. But you just got to enjoy that. But let's go into today's game, man. So today's game was just there's nothing really else to say besides it was just a kick in the dick. Like it was just a team that looked like they wanted to get out of Fenway Park today. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's probably a good assessment, to be honest. I don't know, man. And then again, John Schneider coming up. Did he want to get swept? I feel like he wanted to get swept almost.
Putting Biggio and Belt in the lineup.
That almost makes it seem like you wanted to get swept, doesn't it? You just lost the last million games, it seemed like, and then you put Belt and Biggio in. What's the plan? I don't understand what the plan is. Does he just think that one day both of them are going to be amazing?
I don't know.
I think he thinks one day that Belt and Biggio are going to be the best hitters on the team because he just keeps using them, especially Belt. Belt's in almost every game, and it's why? It's a free out. It's when he comes up to the plate, he's out.
This is my thing with this. So it's very hard for an offense to get going when your starting pitcher gives up an 8 spot in like 3 innings.
Yeah,
that's where I stand with that. It's like, yes, was the lineup asked, but we could have never really known if they would have been serious because the Jays gave up an 8. It's hard as an offense to just, you already have lost 4 in a row. It's hard for an offense to just, you're playing defense, you give up an 8 spot. It's like, fuck, we just lost 4 in a row. Now we're down 8. Like it's hard to wake up and compete when you're kind of like that, right? That's where I stand with that.
No, you're right, man. You give up fucking millions of runs early in the game. It's you can't, you know what I mean? Like, what does everyone else on the team think? Like, what do you think Vlad and Bo are sitting there thinking when your team's down 6-0 or some shit early? It's just like, well, what the fuck's happening, right? Because besides them and Chapman, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really. Well, and Merrifield. Merrifield is fucking doing really good in my opinion too. But fuck,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right though. Like the offense hasn't even looked that pathetic in most of these games. It's just like, man, get an out. So the pitchers, Red Sox might actually be fucking just a lot better than people think. I guess I don't know. They looked fucking amazing this damn series. Their offense did. Holy shit!
I'm not quite sure how much credit to give. I'm not sure how much credit to give the Boston Red Sox. I don't know. They definitely beat the brakes off the Jays this week. That was a kick in the dick. Obviously, that was that's just that the best way to categorize it is the Jays just got outplayed. They just wanted to get out of Boston. Obviously a place where they were comfortable playing in last year. They beat the brakes off the Boston Red Sox last year. It was a weird spot.
Their season record last year, I think Dan said it on the broadcast. They were what was it? Like 16 and
I think it was 16-4 or 16-3.
It was nuts. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but holy shit.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it was bad. No, it was real bad. But let's go into the weekend now. So we'll do the weekend recap. I'll go with the starting pitchers. So tomorrow is going to be, we can just say this is going to be a seniors home game. Chris Bassett versus Rich Hill, who apparently I heard on the broadcast, Rich Hill is a month younger than John Schneider. He's a month younger than him, or a month older. Yes. Rich Hill versus Chris Bassett tomorrow. Barrios versus Oviedo on Saturday, and Kikuchi versus Contreras, who was disgusting on Sunday. Tomorrow's game is going to might be a snooze fest because it's two guys that throw curveballs that are 69 miles an hour. I don't know. It's tomorrow's game is I might declare it a must win. I don't know, but tomorrow's game they better beat fucking fossil Rich Hill. They better beat him.
I think tomorrow can be as close to classified as a must win as it can be after this fucking weekend, dude. Yeah, Rich Hill on the fucking mound, but that's like the typical person that the Jays will struggle against, right? Like some guy you think they're gonna shit all over, and then they'll put up 2 hits. Just do offense, be like one of those games where it's just strikeout, weak ground out, weak fly out, weak ground. It's just, I don't know, man. I think they have to win tomorrow, right? Yeah. They have to win. You have to beat fucking, if you can't beat Rich Hill, I don't know. They always seem to just do bad against mediocre pitchers for the most part. It's just,
and then they'll beat Luis Castillo,
and then they'll kick the shit out of Garrett Cole or something. It's just the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
It's absurd, man. I don't know. Like, so I gave the pitching matchups there. I'm gonna say the Jays, because this is a weird one. They got to go Pittsburgh and then Philly back to back. So Philly's also like Bryce Harper back now.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's back.
God damn it. But I'm going to say, but the cool thing about that Phillies series is you got the two big dogs going. I mean, you got Manoah and Gossman going those two games. So that, like, we'll obviously break that down later, but I'm going to say the Jays take 2 of 3 this weekend. I think they lose against Contreras because that guy is unfucking believable.
Is he crazy? Like I don't even know.
No, he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not a baseball savant guy, but I just know all of his spin rates and shit like that is off the charts. He's just unhittable. I mean, it's just, he's really good. So that game's gonna be cool. It's Kikuchi versus him. So
okay,
I'm not quite sure. I know the Pirates just got swept by the
Rays. Got swept by the Rays.
But I don't know. It's hard to judge a team that got swept by the Rays because they're just fucking insane. The Tampa Bay Rays. So I'm gonna say 2 or 3. What are you gonna say?
I think that's to be honest, I don't really know much about that guy you're talking about, but if he's like crazy, I think that's probably the most fair assessment you can.
Because Oviedo is I think Oviedo's a bum. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think Rich Hill's a bum. Yeah, like they should beat that. They should win this game.
50 years old. They have to win that game.
Yeah. Chris, what's your prediction here, producer Chris?
I think you're probably right. 2 out of 3. You know, I do hope we win the first one. And then I'm hoping Kikuchi just carves.
I'd love to see Kikuchi carve because Kikuchi would be a potential sweep opportunity if the Jays take the first 2. So that game will be kind of cool to watch. I will be pumped to see that. But so what we do, Kevin, is we do winners and losers. I'm just gonna say it. There's no winners of this week. Maybe Dalton Varsho. We can all agree on as the winner. Yeah, that's the only winner of this week. I'll start off. So my loser of this week, it's gotta be the guys that just continue to get in my fucking mentions about how bad the bullpen is when the starting rotation gave up 20 runs. It's the bullpen haters and the starting pitching truthers that are the losers of this week because this series, for example, it was just all meltdowns by the starters. It was not the relievers, none of that stuff. I mean, maybe Romano or Swanson, but I'm going to say my loser of this week is the bullpen haters as well as Yusei Kikuchi because that was fucking bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was real fucking bad. Who's yours, Kevin?
Jesus Christ. Do you only have one loser?
You can have one loser. You can have 1 or 2 losers. Like we always say John Schneider usually on the pod, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can add him to the list possibly. I think I don't know. I've already been talking with this. I'm just so fucking sick of Brandon Belt. I'm serious. I don't know if I hate anybody on planet Earth right now more than Brandon Belt. I'm just so sick of it. Like he may not have even like contributed to whether they won or lost this series. I just think he's going to be in the loser category until they get rid of him or until he actually starts to do something. Like
but the thing is, this is what sucks. When he gets on base, he is so fucking slow that
You could crab walk around the bases faster than this guy. I just don't understand. Yeah, it just makes no sense why they play him. And to be honest, I'm getting sick of Kevin Biggio too, because he's taken away playing time from Merrifield, who deserves to be playing every damn day. And Merrifield is raking. Every time he's in, he seems like he's always on base.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like a fucking 20 game, or I don't know how long?
Yeah, he had a 23 game on base streak.
Like, why is he? I just don't get it. It just makes no sense. I just want to know why he's not playing at least like 80-90% of the games.
I mean, with Merrifield hitting 292 with a 350 on base percentage and a 382 slugging, it's like I don't know what more this guy has to do, but maybe it's a playing time thing where he wants to kind of rest up at the start of the year, not play every day. But
maybe, yeah.
Chris, who's your losers?
So I was thinking I was gonna go with the camera guy there at first.
Yes.
That's a good pick, actually. That's a very good pick.
What was it? Where Vladdy hit or what we thought was a bomb, and it was just like caught at the monster, I think.
These camera guys have been fucking
some
terrible.
Of the camera guys have been very bad. They haven't even been on the right frame half the time when something happened. Something happened the other day. I don't know if it was that exact one, but the frame was on the pitcher. And the ball
it was when
like
Vladdy hit. I think that's what Chris was talking about. When Vladdy hit that RBI single, you're not talking about that, Chris. But it was when Vladdy hit an RBI single, and the camera was still panned on the pitcher, and you couldn't see where the ball went.
Yeah,
you had no idea where the ball went.
Yeah, that's the exact one.
There was one really bad one. I think when we were playing the Angels, like early on. There was one really bad one.
Yes, where the camera panned into the fucking moon and the guy was camped under it at the wall. Yeah.
I do think I remember that actually. Or in Kansas City, when like the camera seemed to be right in the middle of the fucking water. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
It was like literally in the water fountain. You couldn't even see the action.
Yeah.
They couldn't have found a better setup.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
It was
I guess
bad.
That's not really the cameraman's fault. It's kind of like the people setting shit up. But it's like, what the am I a water park right now? You're just watching water shoot up in the air. It seemed like
it's been bad, man. It's been real bad. But I will say this: since JR and Avery went to Mexico, the Toronto Blue Jays are 0-5. Ricky Tiedemann is now hurt.
Oh my shit! Yeah. Dude, did you hear anything else about that? Like, is he?
No, it's like something with his bicep. It's a bicep strain or something like that. I don't know what it is, but. It's so since the other two co-hosts JR and Avery left, we got Ricky Tiedemann hurt. 0-5 Toronto Blue Jays, where they just look like they forgot how to play baseball. So they should just never leave the country again while I'm grinding here doing solo fucking streams watching games. That's the Johnny Junta difference. That's the Johnny Junta difference. So anyways, Kevin, man, obviously the people needed this. People needed you on this podcast, man. We were pumped to have you on. And any last words for Blue Jays Nation? Listen, I addressed the nation. I said this team is still very good. This is just one of the most cat shit stretches I have ever seen. Because last year when they struggled, it was like whatever. There was a little bit of struggle, stuff like that, especially with the Montoyo. But now in my mind, I'm like, listen, I know this team's still fucking good. This team rakes once the pitching just starts being like somewhere in the middle of what they were when they just didn't give up more than one run a start for like 2 consecutive starts each. Somewhere in the middle. Can we just get somewhere in the middle of what they are now and what they were 2 weeks ago? And they'll just win a shit ton of baseball games. And I'm excited to see that little run they're going to go on again. And then we'll talk again when they go on that little 6-7 game losing streak over against a cat shit team. So I'm pumped for it. Yeah. Any last words there, Kevin, for Blue Jays Nation, where they can find you, all that type of stuff?
Dude, I agree with what you're saying. For one, it's like Vlad, Bo, Chapman, they're all doing amazing at the plate, right? Like when those guys are doing good, it still feels like there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance when those guys are doing good. Springer will be back. I don't know if I've ever been more confident in saying anything than Springer will be fine. Manoah will be fine. All right. Like I think I saw you saying that you're just, I feel like at this point in my life, I'm a very negative person. And I feel like I get myself in trouble by saying too many negative things. I need to be more positive with my life, but the Jays will be fine. The Jays they'll bounce back. They'll be in it at the end of the season. Christ, it's painful being positive so much, but I'm just trying to fucking convince myself that the Jays will be fine, because after these last couple of games, I don't know how you do it, but it'll be fine. The Jays will be fine. Vlad's raking, Bo's raking. Springer's fine. Varsho's heating up. Bell to the fucking sun. Biggio to the sun. And then I swear to Christ, Bell and Biggio gone, the offense is just, the team's set. That's when the team gets going. You need to get rid of one of those guys or just both of them, because that's just, it brings down the team. It's depressing. And then once that happens, it's all good. And the Jays we're being positive today. The Jays will, the Jays will be fun. They'll be in it. They'll be there. We'll all be happy, hopefully. Well, I guess none of us will be happy unless they win the World Series. So I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but they'll play better. I believe it.
There it is. So there you have it, folks. As always, man, thank you guys for listening. JR and Avery, I don't even know when they're going to be back, but the next episode they will be back with stories from Mexico. JR wheeling moms. I've already got a couple stories in the back of my brain ready to go for you guys on Sunday night, Monday morning. But let's win a series, man. Let's get back on the horse. Time to get back. The most important game's the next one. Love you guys. Gate 14 forever. And what an episode this was.